games that often, but
Okay.
she's always been very lovely at events, and we hang out a fair amount at sort of, you know, when events were a thing.
Oh.
In the before times.
In the before times. God. I've actually never met Nina. Because obviously I've only done events like out in Korea, so I've actually never been to a non-Korean StarCraft event before, which makes me just
Soon,
yeah. So I'm really hoping when they come back, man, I'll be when they come back, and society's not going to collapse before StarCraft events come back, and I'm confident on that, like 20% confident on that.
Well, Rob, also a lovely human being. Rob is actually local here in Philly, so again, in the before times, I would see him a fair amount. We have a nice little crew. We get Korean chicken together sometimes. All the SC2 lads around here.
I was going to joke that you guys get Philly cheesesteaks together and go to a Flyers game or something, but...
No, Rob's been trying to tell me I need to go to a 76ers game at some point. I'm not an American sports person, but basketball seems fun, so, you know.
Really?
Maybe.
Oh, it's my least favorite American sport to go to.
I'll
go to a baseball game.
Ugh. I've been to 2 baseball games in my life, and I will not go to a third.
All
right, we already have something going on. Robbie, trying to be a little bit cheeky. Nina says no. I feel like that actually kind of worked out okay for Rob. If the scout came a couple seconds later, maybe he's already thrown down what I imagine was going to be a proxy Stargate, and then he has to cancel it and loses a bunch of gas. So, not too bad. Nina, still though, not going to be caught off guard by anything too cheeky. And Nina also going for the pylon block here, so bit of minor cheekiness coming out on both sides so far.
I like it. I like it. We see Robbie dropping that Stargate back home, a little defeated, a little dejected, I'm sure, but better at home than not at all. Nina, though, no tier 2 tech yet. Pengy, what's she saving up for back in her blue base here?
I do think that, so generally speaking, when you go for the double stalker opening and then just continue pumping out stalkers, that does cost quite a lot of gas. It's a fairly safe opening. It gives you a pretty good way to deal with any kind of potential shenaniganry, and of course, she knows that Rob is planning to do something a little bit cheeky, so I don't hate the idea to delay the tech to go for those 4 stalkers. You have the opportunity to sort of scout around, make sure there's no other proxy pylons anywhere. Defends against the Adepts reasonably well as well. So now we do have Nina going up for the Forge, and the Twilight Council cancels the Forge, but Twilight Council is the tech of choice, which I also like, given that she already has a bunch of stalkers on the map. And wow, actually a proxy Stargate coming in from Nina as a response.
You know, that's what I said. In her production tab, I saw a Twilight Council, a Stargate, and a Forge go down at the same time, and I said, now that's a bit strange. The Void Ray, by the way, is barely going to spot this, so Robbie getting his own counter luck in spotting the proxy, and Nina is going to be forced to cancel that Stargate. Is she just going for the big brain play of like, oh no, you canceled my Stargate, what will I ever do? And then bam, blink right in the back.
I don't think that was the plan, but at this point in time, she already has the Twilight Council up, so she's not going to be too sad about that. She has the opportunity to go for the blink, opting for the Dark Shrine as well, which she knows that there's a Stargate at home, obviously, having seen the Void Ray. No detection just yet. So Dark Templar, always nice as a little bit of an option. Obviously, Robbie does have the opportunity to make an Oracle if he so desires, but for now, it's going to be interesting to see just how this ends up playing out, because if he gets a little bit too sort of, I guess, tunnel visioned on the Void Rays, then he could be in a little bit of trouble.
I just want to point out to everyone viewing at home, I could not spot the Dark Shrine in Nina's base for the longest time. I was like, okay, she's building a shield battery and a gateway. Where is this Dark Shrine going down? Right in the middle of her main mineral line. Just, if you're ever gonna spook some, or if you're gonna sneak a Dark Shrine past somebody, that's the best place to hide it, in plain sight, right there.
Ooh, that a risky push there by Robbie. I kind of wish Nina would have pushed a little bit, just because she also has Blink almost done. She might have been able to chase those down and even pick off 2 or 3 before they even got home, but opting for the safer play. But at this point, Nina already up to 9 Stalkers, soon to have Blink. This is going to be pretty scary to deal with. Oh, Rob's adding a second Stargate too, so he is very committed to this Void Ray play, which also means there's still no detection, Creighton.
Oh.
2 DTs.
Pengy, I'm gonna get flashbacks to every Gold League Protoss game I ever played, where I was like, oh, I got this, I got Void Rays, I got Stalkers, this is gonna be so easy for me to win. He's gonna go for the block on the ramp, he is gonna get the block on the ramp! Oh, very... Oh!
Oh, DT, that's very... Oh my god, he's gonna unpower the Stargate. Well, there's another one, so at least he's got a backup.
No, but that one getting depowered as well. Nina target firing both Stargates down, and Robbie forced to build 3 pylons to try and repower this thing. Oh, dearie me, and here come the cavalry.
Oh, the Stalker's clicking on in. The Void Rays will be able to get a very nice trade on these. Maybe not the greatest move that Nina could have made, but still, the DTs are going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. Still, though, only 5 worker kills. There weren't really any at the natural. Robbie evacuated them, and I feel like, given the fact that there was no detection when this started, Robbie's done a pretty decent job at least mitigating the damage as much as possible.
Is it that Robbie's done a good job of mitigating damage, or that Nina has chosen very unusual targets for those DTs? Her DTs spent a lot of time hacking away at some pylons that didn't need to be taken down, and instead not going for the mineral lines. I feel like if Nina had gone straight for mineral lines the entire time, this would have been over ages ago. As it was, her second DT is going to get revelated there and taken down. Only 11 probes going down. I say only 11. Yeah. It's still a crap ton. But I feel like Nina could have chosen a little better targets.
Yeah, I feel like Nina really kind of decided that if she was able to deny the detection indefinitely, she just wins the game. So she kind of went for that play instead of going for the guaranteed damage. Still getting a bunch of damage done with the worker count is nice, but now we do have the issue that is the soon-to-be critical mass of Void Rays. Even without the prismatic alignment, as it is on cooldown for most of them, it still does quite a bit of damage, but the blink is just a little bit too good, and Robbie forced to tap out. Not bad at all. And Nina takes a pretty quick game 1.
Yeah, it feels about normal for me, because some of our games over on the C stream that I've been casting before this were about 3 minutes long. So this to me, I was like, oh, this is a pretty good game of StarCraft here. A whole 7 minutes of StarCraft. Not bad. But yeah, Nina grabs a pretty quick game 1. Lots and lots of treachery happening in that game. We saw 2 proxies attempted and 2 proxies failed. DTs attempted and DTs like moderately successful. Man, are these players gonna treat us to a straight game, or do you think it's in both of their interests to maybe try and keep things spicy here in game number 2 on Eternal Empire?
I do feel like Nina is the slightly stronger player here. We were talking about this a bit beforehand. Right. I definitely think Rob is good enough to take out Nina. Rob has won one of their 5 tournament meetings in the past.
Okay.
Not the last 3. The last 3 were this year, and unfortunately for Rob, Nina's been able to take all 3 of them. But Rob, I do feel like even though Nina is the slightly better player, I would say, mechanically, it is probably in her best interest to keep things weird, because Rob has a history of not doing great if he gets sort of thrown off his rhythm. If you let Rob play his game, Rob is very good. He's easily one of the best Protosses in NA anyway, but he's very, 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 very scary if you let him kind of play his own game, whether it be a macro game or a bit more of an aggressive style. But if you throw him off whatever timings he was going for, he can really get in his own head. So I feel like in these sort of weirder games, that's where he seems to struggle a little bit. He's been doing a lot better with that lately, but I do think that Nina may well be keeping that in mind and looking for opportunities to kind of sort of throw a wrench in the works, right?
Awesome. Well, let's see if she can throw that wrench with good precision here in game number 2 as we hop on to Eternal Empire LE.
And in the top right, we've got our red Protoss player for Root Gaming. It is Rob.
And Rob's opponent in the bottom left-hand side in the blue, representing Team Exxon. Currently up 1-0. We've got Nina. So, Panky, you've just come off casting a couple more games here from DreamHack North America. Any upsets, any standouts? Have you seen any really good play today yet?
I wouldn't go so far as to say upsets. I think that Namshar got off to a bit of an unfortunate start, but he had a couple of games. The 2 games that he won were both really cool, both off the result of, like, weird hatchery placements. Against Silky, he took his 4th very, very quickly and ignored his 3rd.
Wow.
Basically faking a 2-base play and then getting very far ahead economically. And against Neeb, he was able to sort of spiral out of control off the back of a proxy hatch in the natural. So those were kind of cool. I think the highlight for me, though, was actually Game 3 of the Neeb Namshar series, where Neeb, I don't know if you were watching that, but Neeb went for a double Stargate off of 2 bases, making 2 carriers, and then just not making any more carriers and going for double carrier harass into a ground attack.
What?
So, yeah, that was a thing that happened.
Wow.
It worked very well. But
that's a replay that you exit out of the replay and you're just like, what? And you just watch it again completely and fully on normal speed and just sort of sit with your head in your hands and you're like, how did this happen? How did this happen to me?
I mean, we kind of going back to the conversation before this one, though. Looks like Nina is going to be getting a little bit cheesy here. A bit of a proxy robo coming out. We'll have to see just what Robbie's going for. I do like this idea from Nina because A, it's going to be really aggressive. It allows her to set the tempo of the game. And B, if Robbie was going for some kind of weird proxy, generally, I believe the proxy robo tends to just win against other proxies in whatever weird base trade scenario ensues. So I kind of like this play here by Nina. In the meantime, we do have a Stargate coming out from Robbie, so I think a lot of this is really going to come down to whether or not Nina can break Rob before he gets maybe 2 Void Rays out. I feel like 2 Void Rays kind of will spell the end of this kind of pressure, but Nina opting for a Robo for the Observer first, so not going straight into the Immortal production.
Yeah, taking her time, which I think is a really nice option. Get up, see what she's up against, and even maybe draw some of these units out so that the Immortal can make it out with less pressure than there would be otherwise. This Robo sitting dormant for just a little while here, and it's going to go straight into Warp Prism there for Nina. Now, that's an interesting choice. The people at home can't see it, but I've got you on my webcam here. You're making some faces over there, Pengy. What is that face all about?
So good. Like, Rob's micro is real good, but Nina's micro just there, just with the Stalker, is just, baiting Rob out. First of all, keeping Rob too occupied to go scouting for that proxy. Second of all, baiting the Stalkers out just hard enough to be able to catch them with the reinforcing Stalkers. Ends up being a bit of an even trade, as Robbie does pick one off on the way out, but still, just great control here by Nina. And the Void Ray coming out should spell the end of this for now, but this is great, though, because the Prism allows for great micro potential against this Void Ray, which has also already used its prismatic alignment, so no bonus damage coming out. More and more of the Stalkers are coming on in, and Rob might already not have what it takes to hold, and that's an incredibly quick